42,200 Malaysian pilgrims performing Hajj this year. Man arrested over corpse murder. A very good evening and welcome. You're watching the evening edition of News on 2. I'm ADRIAN Sept. Now, the number of Malaysian pilgrims performing Hajj this year is 42,200, which is more than 30,200 quota announced initially. Tabung Haji Chairman Datuk Sri Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahim said this is proof of the good relations between Malaysia and Saudi Arabia.
Hari ini rakyat Malaysia yang berada di bumi Arafah seramai 42,200 orang yang telah sampai ke bumi Arafah pada pagi ini, dan saya ingin maklumkan dalam 40,200 dan 20 orang telah meninggal dunia.
Confirming this in Arafah while visiting camps housing Malaysian pilgrims, the Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Office, Dato' Dr. Ashraf Wajdi Dusuki, Dato' Sri Abdul Aziz also announced the number of deaths involving Malaysian pilgrims is 20, including those who passed away on the day of Arafah. Muslims in Malaysia and most of their brethren around the world observe Eid al-Adha today. They began the day with morning prayers at the mosque, followed by visits to family and friends and the exchange of food. Muslims also sacrifice animals in remembrance of Prophet Ibrahim's devotion to Allah, after which the meat is distributed to family members, neighbors and the needy. In Johor, the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar, performed the Eid al-Adha prayers at the Masjid Pasir Pelangi in Johor Bahru alongside around 1,000 worshippers. The Sultan was accompanied by Tunku Mahkota Johor, Tunku Ismail, Tunku Panglima Johor, Tunku Abdul Rahman, Tunku Putra Johor, Tunku Abu Bakar, and son-in-law Dennis Muhammad Abdullah. Over in Alor Kedah, the Sultan of Kedah, Tuanku Hajah Hamina, performed the Eid al-Adha prayers with over 2,000 congregants at the Masjid Zahir in Alor today. Her Highness was accompanied by several members of the state government exco and government officials. Over 10,000 Muslims converged at the Al-Azim State Mosque in Bukit Palah Melaka to perform the Eid al-Adha prayers. They were joined by Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Muhammad Khalil Yaakob, Chief Minister Datuk Sri Idris Harun and State Speaker Datuk Othman Muhammad. Over in Kuching, Sarawak, Yang di-Pertuan Negeri Tun Abdul Taib Mahmud joined over 2,000 congregants at the Eid al-Adha prayers at the Masjid Jami in Petra Jaya today. Chief Minister Dato' Ahmad Abang Johari Tun Openg, Muslim state ministers and community leaders were amongst those who were in attendance. Over in Shah Alam, Selangor, the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, Tengku Permaisuri Selangor, Tengku Permaisuri Nora Shikin, and the Raja Muda Selangor, Tengku Amir Shah, joined over 5,000 congregants to perform the Eid al-Adha prayers at the Masjid Tengku Ampuan Jemaah, Bukit Jelutong. The Sultan presented a head of cattle for sacrifice. Masjid Tengku Ampuan Jemaah also received 26 heads of cattle for the Korban ceremony, which will take place tomorrow. A Korban and Akikah program was held at the Khalid Al-Wahid Mosque in Kuala Lumpur today by the Malaysian Armed Forces to celebrate its members who had fought and sacrificed themselves to maintain peace and security in the country. The program this year, amongst others, was aimed at increasing their obedience and gratitude towards God. The program, officiated by the Deputy Minister of Defence, Datuk Sri Muhammad Johari Baharum, witnessed 30 cows contributed by various quarters being sacrificed before its meat was distributed to those who were there.
Eid al-Adha ni ialah pengalaman pertama sekali dia punya semangat dia tu ialah korban. Ya, kalau kita tengok ialah semangat korban anggota Angkatan Tentera ni tidak ternilai lah. Jadi kita ingat bahawa sebenarnya apa yang kita nikmati sekarang keamanan, yang kalau kita tengok sambutan Hari Merdeka semalam, itu adalah hasil daripada pengorbanan anggota tentera kita.
The program was also attended by Navy Chief Admiral Tan Sri Ahmad Kamaruzaman Ahmad Badaruddin. Meanwhile, over at Camp Terendah in Malacca, 12 cows were sacrificed at the Al-Shuhada Mosque during a sacrifice program organized by the Malaysian Army 3rd Division today. The program was attended by over 100 Army officers and the congregation from the mosque. Army 3rd Division Commander Major General Dato' Hazagaya Abdullah said the program was a yearly event organized by the base at the cooperation of the Al-Shuhada Mosque.
Alhamdulillah, kita telah pun berjaya mengadakan majlis korban pada pagi ini. Sebanyak 12 ekor kita dapat yang dikorbankan pada pagi ini dan semuanya telah selesai dilaksanakan. Segalanya berjalan lancar, alhamdulillah, dan semua telah pun diagih-agihkan.
Major General Dato' Hasagaya said this after distributing the meat to over 1,000 people from the Camp Terendah camp and its local residents. The event was also attended by its Chief Minister Dato' Sri Idris Harun and the Artillery 3rd Division Commander Dato' Nordin Saleh. Meanwhile, Muslims all over the world today celebrate Eid al-Adha in their own unique way and culture. In neighbouring Jakarta, thousands of Muslim worshippers gathered in front of Al-Azhar Mosque to offer Eid al-Adha prayers. Young and old, men and women, children, filled the yard of the mosque, which can accommodate more than 5,000 people. They came not only from Jakarta, but also came from surrounding areas such as Bekasi, Tangerang and Depok. Meanwhile, Iraqis prayed in Baghdad mosques under tight security on Friday to celebrate the festive of Eid al-Adha.
عید قربان اونایی که قبلا به حج تمتع مشرف شدن میان تو قربانگاه‌ها گوسفند میگیرن میکشن و گوشت اون رو تقسیم میکنن بین نیازمندها. این برنامه ماست و ما هم هر سال توفیق داریم میام از این مراکز گوسفند میگیریم و میدیم گوشتشو آماده میکنن میدن که ما ببریم منزل.
Now, the festival comes as Iraqi security forces have been waging battles to retake territories seized by the Daesh group militants. Over in Afghanistan, thousands of Kabul residents packed mosques around the city and offered Eid al-Adha prayers. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani addressed the nation during an Eid speech. He insisted on national and religious unity to move the country forward. Extra Afghan police and security forces were deployed on Kabul streets to ensure security on Eid days, as Taliban and Daesh militants have increased their attacks in the country. Afghan Interior Ministry spokesman Najib Danish said all necessary security measures have been taken to provide a secure environment for Afghan people to celebrate all over the country. In Pristina, Kosovo, Muslim worshippers joined together in prayer to mark the festival of sacrifice. Kosovo is considered secular, although the overwhelming majority of its population is Muslim. Communications and Multimedia Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Saleh Syed Kerouac characterized the 2017 Kuala Lumpur SEA Games, or KL 2017, Independence Day 2017 and the Hari Raya Eid al-Adha celebration, which took place on 3 consecutive days, are aimed at providing Malaysians the opportunity to rise and move forward. Dato' Sri Dr. Saleh, in his blog sskerouac.blogspot.my, said that the people of all ages and races were present to celebrate Malaysia as the 29th SEA Games champion at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium on Wednesday. Dato' Sri Dr. Saleh expressed his pride and enthusiasm when he witnessed a stadium which could accommodate 100,000 people on Wednesday. He added that the stadium was filled with cheer and celebration as the Games came to a close and was continued over the National Day celebration, where the Prime Minister Dato' Sri Najib Tun Razak gave his speech. Dato' Sri Dr. Saleh said the applause became stronger and louder when Dato' Sri Najib announced a public holiday on September the 4th as the government's gift to the people in conjunction with the 3 simultaneous major events, which were the country's success in SEA Games, the National Day, and the Hari Raya Eid al-Adha celebration. Police have arrested a man in connection with Lance Corporal Valentino Mesa's murder. Selangor CID Chief SAC Fadzil Ahmad said the suspect was being held under remand for 7 days from today for investigations under Section 302 of the Penal Code. The 34-year-old suspect was arrested as he was about to board a flight to Cebu, Sarawak at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 7:40 p.m. yesterday. Dato' Maslan advised the public against making any kind of speculation on the murder or the arrest of the suspect, saying it could jeopardize the investigation. Meanwhile, police have obtained closed-circuit television cameras or CCTV recordings from several establishments near the Pinggiran Subang police station following the murder. Selangor Police Chief Dato' Mazlan Mansor said the CCTV recordings are currently being studied by a team of investigators who are keeping their eyes peeled for clues that should shed light into the incident. Eyewitnesses are urged to come forward with any information that can help the investigations. Lance Corporal Valentino, 29, from Sarawak was found dead with slash and gunshot wounds at the inquiry counter of the police station at 3:25 a.m. yesterday. The soon-to-be-implemented bicycle lanes in Kuala Lumpur will be painted red to differentiate it from other road users' lanes. Federal Territories Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Anand Tengku Mansur said his ministry will soon discuss this with the Kuala Lumpur City Hall or DBKL before the project is implemented. Now, so far, special bicycle lanes painted red are only found in Putrajaya and managed by the Putrajaya Corporation.
Kita akan pastikan bahawa garisan tersebut akan diperbaikilah. Macam di Putrajaya ini kita bukan garisan, kita letakkan satu jalan khusus dengan warna merah. Jadi barangkali kita akan ikut apa Perbadan Putrajaya lakukan di Kuala Lumpur lah. Saya akan bincang dengan pihak DBKL.
Datuk Sri Tengku Anand said he has directed that the bicycle lanes be properly maintained periodically. A magnitude of a 3.9 earthquake struck at Ranau, Sabah at 11:41 a.m. today, moderately rattling residents of Ketabalut. In a statement, the Meteorology Department said the quake struck at the depth of 7 kilometers. The epicenter of the quake was 16 kilometers northwest of Ranau. Tremors were felt at the Ranau area. Last night, an earthquake measuring 3.0 on the Richter scale hit Sapulut at around 6:13 p.m. yesterday. However, it posed no tsunami threat. A squatter house was razed to the ground in the Jalan Sultan Iskandar squatter area in Bintulu, Sarawak last night. Bintulu Fire and Rescue Station Chief D. Hatagobel said the unstable structure of houses caused it to burn down very quickly. The Hatagobel added the team of 2 fire engines and 7 officers led by the Senior Fire Officer 2, Helman Main, rushed to the scene upon receiving the emergency call at 8:20 p.m. However, the team met with some difficulty during the operations as they had to maneuver through a narrow path in a bush forest. No casualties were reported in the incident and all the residents were found safe. Now, 2 teenagers almost died when the car they were in skidded after hitting a motorcycle at Leboraya Pantai Baru near Angkasapuri at 2:20 p.m. According to witnesses, the teenagers who were in a Proton Satria were speeding from Pantai Dalam to Bangsa when it made a sudden turn after overtaking another vehicle and a motorcycle. The car hit into the motorcycle, causing the motorcyclist to be thrown off. The car later skidded and hit the road shoulder, causing it to overturn and turn direction. Both teenagers sustained injuries to their body and head, while the motorcyclist was injured on his knees. According to the witness, he had immediately pulled over the handbrake of the car he was driving to avoid from crashing into the motorcyclist, who fell in front of his car. All 3 victims were taken to the nearest hospital for further treatment. And coming up, aid application for monsoon season opens today. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Dato Sri Mas Yew Keong announced in a statement today that the application process for monsoon season aid begins today. Dato Sri Mas said the financial aid was to ensure the welfare of rubber smallholders and tappers was safeguarded during the monsoon season through the federal government's total allocation of 261 million ringgit. Dato Sri Ma added that Prime Minister Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak had announced a monthly financial aid of 200 ringgit for 3 months, starting from November until next January, to 440,000 rubber smallholders and rubber tappers nationwide for the coming monsoon season. The ministry, through its operating agency, the Malaysian Rubber Board, or LGM, is committed to implementing the aid scheme smoothly, especially via easy and friendly application procedures. Rubber smallholders can apply for aid through the bmt.lgm.gov.my website. Alternatively, they can visit any LGM office to obtain the application forms. Etika Takaful Berhad has appointed Zafri Halim as its new Chief Executive Officer CEO effective today. Etika in its statement said that Zafri will report himself to Maybank Aegis Holdings Sdn Bhd CEO Kamaluddin Ahmad. Now, Zafri will be responsible to drive the Takaful business and monitor the performance of Etika Takaful in Malaysia. A big part of his career is in the insurance industry, as he began with Malaysia National Insurance Berhad, now known as Etika Insurance Berhad, for 14 years. Zafri joined Etika from Great Eastern Takaful Berhad, where he served as the CEO. And that item on sports concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, 42,200 Malaysian pilgrims performing Hajj this year. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates. On behalf of the news and technical team, we'd like to wish all our Muslim viewers Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Adha. I'm Adrian Seet. Stay tuned to TV2. Have a pleasant evening and good night.